Hello, 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 my friends. Happy July. Happy July 4th week is coming up. July 4th, 2025. And it is hot everywhere, especially on the East Coast. Down here in the South, it's so hot. And it's July 4th week. So we are going to welcome to me, Mom and Dad first. Any new listeners, I always like to introduce myself, me, Mom, and Dad, and it is my mom and my dad and myself, and I'll explain later how this podcast got started with the three of us. Um, Last podcast we talked about because it's so hot, we should be cooking outside on the grill, and it is July 4th week. So, I talked about how we start that charcoal grill. I'm a charcoal we're a charcoal grill family, and last episode I went through thoroughly for those who don't know how to start the charcoal grill. So, you can go back to that episode. I'll just do a quickie of how you start that charcoal grill now. And before I get to some great recipes, we share a lot of recipes on Me, Mom, and Dad. And we also make a point to talk to the Parkinson's community. That's how this podcast got started. My dad had Parkinson's, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll do some recipes first. I'll do a quickie on the starting the charcoal grill. And you will get your charcoal. I mentioned on the last episode, I like to stay with Kingsford. I'm not getting any money from them, just I like it. Kingsford charcoal and Kingsford fluid. So if you're using like a Weber big round grill or any grill, pour your charcoal. I'm just doing a quickie, like I said. The last episode I went with the wood, what you do with the wood and all of that. So I'm just doing a quickie now. You pour your charcoal, let's say on the left side of your grill where you are. Just pour a big pile of that and leave the right hand side of the grill with nothing. The right side is where you can move your items that you're cooking on that side so that your items, your chicken or whatever won't burn. So you pour that Kingsford fluid on top of the charcoal on the right side. Just pour. I'm pretty heavy duty with it. And then you put your grill grate thingy. Once you've poured the fluid, put the grill grate back on top of your grill. Because I like to light the grill and I like the fire to just really burn everything and disinfect everything, so to speak. So you put that grill grate back on there and take your brush and brush all the stuff you cooked before. Like I said, this is quickie instruction. And that's it. Get your lighter and light it down there on the charcoal and you'll see it start to poof. Stand back and it will, like I said, the fire will it'll start to come up all around the grill grate and burn all the old stuff off for you. So that's that. So our recipes today, we're going to do roast chicken. Like I said, it's so hot, so this episode we're staying outside and not turning the oven on in the kitchen if we can. So that's what we're talking about. You lighten the grill. You've already lit the grill, and you want to wait till the charcoals get gray. That takes about a good 25 minutes. You just keep going back and checking, and all of those charcoals will be gray, my friends. And that's when you're ready to put your items on the grill, especially your chicken or your ribs or whatever. And don't get impatient, you look at the the charcoals and you're like, oh, how long does it take for it to get gray? But wait for it to get gray, and it will take a good 25, depending on how big your pile was. But give it a good 25 or 30 minutes, and you'll see it get so golden charcoal gray. So, roasted chicken. You get a whole roasted chicken. I go to my butcher around the corner or go to your market. Whole chicken. Uh, my friends always tell me to pretend that I don't know how to cook, that folks don't know how to cook. I always assume everybody knows how to cook. So when you get that whole roasted chicken, that means the wings are still on there, the legs are still on there, the breast, and you go in the middle, put your hand in the middle of that roasted chicken and take the bag out. If you don't know how to cook, friends don't friends don't know to take that bag out. I've heard some people say, Tia, why is it even in there? But it is in there if you have a whole chicken. Pull that bag out. That's the liver and the gizzards. We're not in the neck, and we're not dealing with that later. That's for real expert cooks who know what to do with those liver and gizzards and necks and things. So we're not dealing with that bag. Take that bag out, my friends. You rinse that chicken. Rinse it with some water. Take a paper towel and dry it. We don't want it wet right now. Roasted chicken. We're going to put this roast chicken on that grill when we finish. So, you will, once you have the roasted chicken, you're going to need a pan to, I like in the summer, around the 4th of July and holidays, I like to buy the aluminum pans, but you can use your metal kitchen pan, but you want a nice size aluminum pan because we're going to put some vegetables around that roasted chicken. Okay? So you want to take butter, a stick of butter, and you want to let it sit out and get room temperature. So we should have planned that. Oh, I'm going to cook a roast chicken for today. So set it out in the morning and it'll get soft. You could put it in the microwave and let it get soft, but only like 5 or 6 seconds. You don't want it melt. You just want soft butter. You don't want it totally melted, the butter. You take that butter. I like to put some gloves on, plastic gloves, and just rub that butter all around that chicken. The legs, the breast, the wings. Put some on the inside too, my friends. Then you take kosher salt all around the chicken. Kosher salt. And some pepper. If you want to use parsley and other herbs around that chicken, parsley, pepper, kosher salt, I said. Let me see. I like a little oregano. I like a little parsley. Just spread it all around and it's going to look beautiful. And I like to take carrots, get a bag of carrots, skin those carrots. My family loves carrots. Skin them. I take the old skin off, give them a rinse too. And I put some potatoes in there. Skin your potatoes. Some people like to skin on the potatoes. And chop up the potatoes the size that you like. And I like to put some celery in there. The celery gives the chicken a good flavor. So wash off your celery stalks. Let's see. We got the carrots. We got the celery. What else we want? Any kind of vegetables that you like. The last episode, we put a lot of mixed vegetables on the grill and cook those. So you can put same thing, you can put some zucchini. But carrots, I like, when I'm doing roast chicken, I do carrots. And you can chop up those carrots in little, chop them up smaller, or you can leave them whole. I chop them up. And go back to your roast chicken. Put your roast chicken in your aluminum pan or whatever pan. And you place your carrots, your potatoes. Season your potatoes with salt, kosher salt. Put them in the pan. Put your celery in the pan and olive oil. I know we already have the butter on there, right? But this is going to be the most tender, juiciest chicken ever because you're going to pour olive oil all on top of the butter. Yes, just pour, pour, pour. And it's going to drip down on your vegetables because all this butter and this olive oil is going to spread onto your vegetables and give everything that the flavor is going to be amazing. So you will also you've salted, seasoned your vegetables. Okay. So you will take your roasted chicken pan, take to your charcoal grill. Your gray, your charcoals have turned gray, and you just sit that pan on top of your grill grate. Now, I would put it on directly on top of the charcoals for like 30 minutes. Then after that, move your pan to the right side of the charcoal grill where there's no charcoal, and it'll continue to cook. And I really don't put any foil on there. Sometimes if you look at your chicken and it's cooking too fast, but after 30 minutes it shouldn't have, because you would put the top on your grill. Once you put the chicken on there, put the top down on your grill. And I do use some oak wood or pecan wood, which I went through the last episode. So you can go back to that episode, and if you put wood in your charcoal, that's gonna really give your roast chicken some good flavor. So go back to that episode and look at that. So put that roast chicken on there, my friends. After 30 minutes, move it to the other side. And I would give it a whole chicken, I'm going to say an hour for the chicken to be totally done inside. And you can get a thermometer. These new thermometers, you buy one, and they have on your thermometer, they'll tell you, are you cooking a chicken? They'll tell you the temperature of each item. But it usually is like a good hour on that charcoal. And you'll see it getting nice and brown, and the carrots are cooking, the potatoes are cooking. And then you can, if you see it cooking too fast, you can put some foil on top of the whole pan to continue cooking. It's good. But when you move your chicken to the other side, that's good eating, my friends, and you're outside. Now let's do some baked beans. A lot of folks don't know how to do it, but you get a can of baked beans, your favorite flavor, your favorite name brand, and pour your beans in a pan. Do like a pinch of kosher salt. If you like some pepper, do some pepper as well. And you are going to get brown sugar. Maybe if you're using one can, it'll be about a quarter cup. Let's say a half cup of brown sugar. Put it in your beans, stir it all around, and then get some bacon, your favorite strips of bacon, and lay the bacon strips on top of your pan, on top of your bacon. Put the bacon on top of your beans. Your beans you have poured in a pan. Again, summertime, grab aluminum pan. And once you've stirred up your brown sugar, put a few strips, depending on how big your pan is, a few strips of bacon, 3 or 4 strips. Yes, my friends. Put some foil on top and take your beans to the charcoal. First, put them on the right side directly on top of the charcoal. It'll start cooking. Go back after 25, 30 minutes and check your beans, give them a stir. And again, you can move that whole pan of beans to the right side to just keep cooking slowly. What? 4th of July, friends? Um, oh, we would also, if you want to put a little in your beans, put like a tablespoon of bourbon in there. All the beans these days have their own flavors, but if you want to put your own bourbon in there, that's always good, like a tablespoon or a little more, and stir that around. That's always good stuff. And how about pasta salad? Summertime pasta salad. Easy peasy. I just buy a rotisserie chicken, or you already cooked a roasted chicken. You can slice the breast on that and use that. But take a rotisserie chicken, and I get some curly pasta. I like the tricolor pasta. My mom doesn't care for the tricolor as much. I like the tricolor. This week we used bow tie pasta. Any of your favorite pasta that you like, curly or the bow tie. And you take your rotisserie chicken and you will boil your pasta, of course, and drain your pasta, pour it in a bowl, in your picnic bowl for the summer, and slice the breast off the rotisserie chicken. We just use the breast for that. You can use the brown meat, of course. It's all good. And slice the chicken on top of the on top of the chicken. I mean the pasta. Put the chicken. Oh my goodness, the heat has got my brain. Put your sliced chicken on top of the pasta. Kosher salt. My mom likes to use seasoned salt for color. So either one, don't use both. That it'll be too salty. And slice up some onion, your favorite onion, scallions or red onion. And my mom likes to dice up some celery in your pasta salad, and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Slide on there, like a little dash of olive oil. I like to use my favorite Italian seasoning, or they have this ginger seasoning. That'll be on the side for your favorite seasoning, Italian dressings that you like. So we put onions in there. What do we put? We can put some parsley in there, parsley flakes. Sometimes I'll chop up some cilantro and just mix it all up. And you don't have to use balsamic vinegar but that's a good flavor. Whatever your taste buds are leading you to do. You can just use olive oil. My mom has been suffering from some acid reflux lately, so we've been kind of just using olive oil because the balsamic vinegar kind of is not a good friend of hers. And just put your favorite dressing on that pasta. Toss it around. Summertime. 4th of July. Hope you enjoy it, my friends. For the new listeners, me, Mom, and Dad started when my dad got diagnosed with Parkinson's years ago. And it was challenging, of course. We found out some wonderful things, though, that helped him live a fruitful life. And that's what I like to share with the Parkinson's community. And through starting, my mom and dad are on the past episodes. My dad passed away 3 years ago, not directly from Parkinson's. He was 86 years old. And like I said, I started this recipe because he lived a fruitful life with Parkinson's. But and so we like to share the fruitful things that we learned, the positive things we learned to help him. And in doing that, family and friends always gathered around us, and that's how we started sharing recipes, because recipes and cooking brings families and friends together, and always brought my dad much joy. And that's how he lived a fruitful life because we kept him laughing and had family all around. And that's how we started sharing recipes because we're all cooks. So it's me and my mom now, my dad looking down on us. And with the Parkinson's community, I'm still in Parkinson's groups on Facebook and other social media. And there was someone on one of the Parkinson's groups, and they were asking who is on the Parkinson's medication, cortidopa levodopa, and that was what my dad was on, and was his that was the main one of the main reasons that kept him living a fruitful life. Cortidopa levodopa. When my dad first got diagnosed, he was falling down everywhere. The tremors, it was unbelievable, and we thought we were going to have to get a ramp for the house to come in and out, and it was terrible. And I found out that uh, through the doctors and the nurses, but I found out that the cortidopa needs to absorb properly. And once we found that out and we figured out how to give him his medication so it could absorb, because when he got diagnosed, we were just giving it to him with food and it wasn't absorbing properly and he couldn't walk. And we found out that, at least for my dad, and I always share this with the Parkinson's community, we gave my dad the cortidopa levodopa on an empty stomach before each meal. So in the beginning of the day, 5 o'clock in the morning, we woke him up and gave him the cortidopa. And he went back to sleep, so he was taking that on an empty stomach. And then he would eat breakfast 2 or 3 hours later. So really, we would give him his cortidopa levodopa 2 hours before eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So again, we gave it to him at 5 a.m. and he would eat around 7 or 8 when he got up. And it was like magic, a miracle. When we started doing that, he could walk and the tremors were less. And, he had his challenges, but most days doing that, the cortidopa was his lifeline. And we did it again for lunch. We waited 2 hours before he had lunch. And we gave him, he was on 3 cortidopas a day. And dinner, we waited 2 hours before he would eat. And we let it absorb properly. That was the key for my dad. And the doctors told us too. Well, when he first got diagnosed, the doctor said to us 1 hour before he eats, and it wasn't enough. So we figured out, those time frames. So that is the lifeline, cortidopa. There's other meds, but cortidopa, I believe, is one of the main meds for Parkinson's patients. And exercise, I sound like a broken record on all of the episodes. Exercise was the key for my dad. He would go to the gym, ride the stationary bike. We had a little stationary bike in the garage, which we still have. My mom and I use it now. And that was the key. Most days, folks didn't even know he had Parkinson's, and it was the key. Exercise was the key. And he would do the machines. He would walk on the treadmill. We'd go to the park and walk. A stationary bike is really, really good. So get up, my friends, and move that body. And each episode, I share different things that we learned. We learned with my dad. Parkinson's would bring on depression. That's how we would bring family around and cook, and that kept joy with him. So that was a key too, to keep his spirits up. And uh, I think dehydration sometimes, so would affect him. So we made sure that he uh, drank lots of liquids. My dad, as he got older, he would get a little cranky and try to not want to do those things. But he found out I would wake him up in the morning and I'd have a big cup of water. And at first he was like, not thirsty. And I was just like, Dad, you got to drink this. And once he felt better after he drank it, he didn't fight me on it anymore. I think that dehydration is one of the things that can affect some Parkinson's patients. So every episode, I share different things that we learned, and my dad is on some of the past episodes, so that's what I share with the Parkinson's community today. Joy, 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 of course. And that quarter dopa must absorb properly and exercise. Yeah. Those who are new listeners, please subscribe to this Parkinson's, this Me, Mom, and Dad. When you're looking at the page up the top, the Wi-Fi looking icon, I believe you click that, and that is how you can subscribe. So when I do a new episode, you'll get an alert. Yes, I'm on Patreon too. If you know anything about patreon.com, if you want to support this podcast, that would be great too. Just go to patreon.com and look up Me, Mom, and Dad, and we're on there somewhere. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. Keep up the joy and keep up the faith. My dad was a minister, and that's part of it too, being around family and friends and just continuing to laugh and keep your spirits up, my friends. We hope you enjoy these recipes. Every podcast we share recipes and sharing with my Parkinson's community, and keeping the joy, my friends. Keep on laughing. Yes, yes. And happy 4th. Happy 4th of July. This week, 4th of July 2025. Thanks for listening. Have a great 4th, everybody. Until the next podcast. See you later. Enjoy the music.